Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome to the next chapter in the Godsworn Diaries. It'll be a bit shorter than my other ones over the last couple of days, uh, but lesson from this week: pay attention, 007. So, last week I mentioned that I was going to be putting in one of the oaths into my deck, taking out Frantic Exchange, because I felt that it was a bit of a trap card for me. It didn't really work with how I liked to play. And I decided to put Oath of Conquest in. So that was the only change to my deck. If you wish to kind of see the deck, I'm not going to go into it in full detail because I have done it in the last couple of videos, but I will put a link up there to watch previous videos, and I'll put a link to the deck in full in the description. So with that in mind, I'll just kind of go straight into how the match went, and then but after that I'm also going to chat about briefly about stuff I'm noticing sort of in the meta in the games that I've personally played, because I've only played league games at the moment. So I was playing a chap called Liam, and he rocked up with some the Stormsires. So in every round in this tournament so far, I have played predominantly Magic using deck, which is quite interesting. As before, you wouldn't really, if you're in a tournament, you probably, unless you had sort of bad luck and you just played Stormsires all the way through, you probably wouldn't face more than one Magic using deck. Probably, but it has kind of it's become quite prominent since the far list. But really good, fun games. The more I play with the Godsworn, the more I'm thinking, bloody love these guys. They're silly, they're dumb, there's card combos. I like chucking dice. I like games with wild swings. They're my bag. They remind me of playing orcs back in Deer with Sheared Spire, and they're fun. I'm even going to build them and get them painted up, and probably take them to my first in real life tournament when that does eventually happen. So I've been converted. And I apologise for bad mouthing the Godsworn Hunt all this time, but I have been converted as a Godsworn player. But the game was really, really good. The first game, so he won the roll. Liam won the roll off, and he set up flush, which I was quite surprised about. Obviously, with him being Stormsires, so I thought, oh, this is going to be an aggressive deck. He's going to be coming for me. And the first round, I was 3-2 up in terms of glory. I'd taken out Rastus, I think it was, and he'd taken out my boss. So, which at the time I thought that's quite a fair exchange, because I had the glory points for upgrades. I could get people inspired and things like that. But then it very much ran away from me. That particular game, and I ended up losing 22-5. So that was a whooping, a paddling, as they say. He had some great little card combos in there, though. In particular, he scored 6 glory with 1 spell combo. He played Damning Pact, I think it is, and then my pooch and two of the guys, I think Olo and Chond, were basically all in a line. Damning Pact to cast, and then he cast basically the spell that damaged the pooch and people around it for 2 damage. So he killed 3 people, had Tome of Offerings, smashed it up to 6 glory. Ouch. But really good, nice combo. I was quite impressed with that. He had some really nice cards in there, and it was an aggro spellcasting deck, which was nice to play against. I like aggro versus aggro. I'm gonna talk about like meta stuff sort of later on, but he went 1-0 up, and I thought, wow, this is not gonna go well. I'm gonna get a whooping again, and Stormsires. When everything's got 4 wounds, that's problematic for me, I find. But the second round, again, boards were flush. I won the board roll that time, and I think I did anyway. In my head, I did. So, Liam, if you're watching, and my notes are a bit of a mess, so if I'm getting anything the wrong way around, do let me know. But that one, much closer. I managed to kind of slow him down a little bit. I know he wasn't getting as many of the cards that he kind of needed to score as much glory as he had before. I was able to get kills in. I was able to score some of my glory quite early. And I won that one 9-8. Snuck it in there. I do remember playing... So again, Liam, if you're watching, do let me know. I do remember playing Daylight Robbery, but I can't remember if it went off. If it did go off, Daylight Robbery won me that game, which happens so much. It's one of those cards that I really like. I mentioned loads of times I like the silly RNG cards, and the amount of times I've won by 1 because of Daylight Robbery, it's just in all my decks now, and I absolutely love that card. And then the third game happened. A proper back and forth. I was in the lead for quite a lot of it. He had Lucky Escape in his deck, and that saved Stormsire from dying really early on. I think first activation in the second round, I thought I'd had him, but Lucky Escape, really good card, and I'm thinking of putting that in with my particular deck, maybe to replace Dark Sacrifice, maybe. But that's a really good card, particularly with all the, as Liam pointed out to me, particularly with all the kind of like 1 damage, all the ping damage, and being put into a lethal hex and things like that. It can stop you. It can stop you dying, and it can completely throw someone's game plan out the window, because particularly if you're pushing someone into a lethal hex, you're lining up a lot of pieces to be able to do that. You've probably played a few cards as well to get yourself into a position to deal the damage, then push back into the lethal hex to get the kill. So it's a really good card, Lucky Escape, and it's one that I've slept on quite a bit. So I'm going to see if I can squeeze that in there. So thanks for that, Liam. Thanks for playing that against me. But the game was going well. I was murdering stuff. I was killing stuff. I was scoring my glory. I was outnumbering his warband by the right amount of people, so that kind of I knew you're not going to kill everyone. And the third game was the only game where I had Oath of Conquest in my hand in the third round, at the start of the third round. Halfway through my first turn in the third round, I'd remembered that I'd forgotten to declare that I had it in my hand. But, that's not going to come and bite you in the ass, is it? No, it's not. Yeah, it is. I drew 14 all. Brilliant. 14 all. Even at the end of the game, I thought I was standing on an objective, and I thought, no, I've still won on the objective. And then we both remembered that he'd smashed the objective with the spell, and it was 14 all. So in a tournament, that's a draw, which is a good, cool result in a tournament. But in the league, it's win or bust. And Liam won based on the amount of glory that he scored over the course of the game, which, fine, they're the rules. Well deserved. Liam played really well. He got the win. But I forgot the only reason I put the card in there in the first place, and I forgot to use it properly. So I say in most of my videos now that I forget reactions and I forget certain things, and it doesn't usually mean much, but that I did feel a bit of a plum afterwards for forgetting the sole purpose for the card that I put in the deck the one change I made, and that card would have won me my first game with the Godsworn. But alas, Liam played very well, and Liam deserved the win based on the rules, based on the rules for the tournament, for the league. Sorry. I'm going to be playing Godsworn at the Vassal Clash next week because, like I said, I'm having quite a lot of fun playing with them. The games are all really fun. Even the whooping I got in the first round against Benny was a learning curve, which it always is against a good player. But the game was a good game. I really like the finding the different combos, positioning everyone as well for like a full-on aggro assault. I really enjoy it, and I think over the course of a tournament, even if I have guff dice and they ruin it, they could potentially ruin it. I think I would still enjoy a day of solid playing with the Godsworn. I have seen people take Godsworn to tournaments before, and by the end of the day, they've had really bad dice and they're broken. But I don't think I'd let it get to me that way. I know what I'm in for with the Godsworn. They're very dice dependent. So if I get angry that the dice don't work out for me, then that's not the right warband or style of play for me to play. I don't get angry about that type of stuff. I get angry when I forget things, which happened this week. But I'm looking forward to playing a full-on tournament with them. I'm not going to change my deck at all. Not for the tournament anyway. I may tweak it for the league game. So when next week's Godsworn Diary is going to be my league game and the tournament, so it'll be a bit of a longer one. But so close to the first win. So close to the first win. But I'm going to chat briefly about what I expect to show up at the tournament. Now people have had a few weeks to kind of play around with the decks post-far. I think we're going to see a lot of magic until August anyway. When we have batches of meta, like you get in Underworlds, the one kind of common thing is scoring more. The cards in the decks that tend to kind of rise to the top and do well are the ones that have that kind of score more stuff in them. So at the very beginning, it was relics, which were massively overpowered. Before they changed the rules on relics, I took a relics deck to a tournament once, and it was unadulterated, disgusting filth. It was boring. I hated playing it over the course of the day. It was just sit back, draw your cards, get your easy glory, get your relics, poop it out, win. I think in a 4-round tournament, I rolled attack and defense dice once all day, and that's not the type of gameplay that I like. I did win the tournament, but if it was a dirty win, it was a filthy win, and I didn't particularly like that. Then keys kind of rose up a bit, particularly in our local meta. People were playing Skellies. A chap by the name of Russell. He won a couple of tournaments with Skellies, with keys. I won a couple of tournaments with Skaven with keys. And that, again, score more. You have your objectives, but then you've got this little pot of extra stuff that you can score more with. Then tomes came. Again, score more. They've restricted some of them, and a lot of those tomes some are absolute turd, while others, like Tome of Offerings, are really good. But again, score more. And now people are looking at lost pages for that score more. And as long as it doesn't turn into everyone just sitting back, either passive scoring or just rolling to cast spells for spell's sake, then it could be interesting. But that's my main fear for the meta over the next few weeks, that everyone wants to play really defensive spells for spell's sake. Put your lost pages on your wizard. Win the game. Now, Liam played pages, but he was really aggressive. And the spells that he was casting were spells that he wanted to kill people with and get the glory from that with. And, he scored 22 points in the first game. The second game, his cards weren't particularly there for him, so he scored quite low. And in the third game, he scored 14. So it's possible to do it without that passive way. I understand why people play the passive way. It's a tournament. It's about scoring glory. It's about scoring glory quickly and easily. And particularly if you're Stormsires, you can win by being like that. Is there a way that can be stopped? I think if this does become a thing and it's quite a negative play experience, I wouldn't be surprised if they made a rule of you can only cast spells when you can carry out the action on the card. It might not happen. It might not happen. People, there might just be the fact that out of the 6 games I've played since the FR list has come out, after the tournament, anyway, 6 games since that tournament, I've played nothing but Magic users. There might be people out there who have played nothing but objective grabbers. There might be people out there that have just played aggro. But from personal experience, Magic is on the rise, finally. It's been in the game for a while, and before it was only really plausible with Stormsires. But I think it's something Games Workshop should probably keep an eye on. Or they might just completely ignore, because when the next 2 warbands come out, something else is going to be there. But I'm pretty certain the next 2 warbands will have lost pages in, which means that score more potential is going to be higher. So whether they change the rules with spellcasting, or whether they restrict the upgrade that you have to have on to score the lost pages, that could be something that they end up doing. But it all depends on what happens over the next couple of weeks. I could be full of it and completely misjudge it, and that's not what's going to happen at all. But I do feel there is a wave of lost pages coming, and it might happen. The first crash of that wave might happen on Saturday, but we'll see. What do you think? Are you using the lost pages at the moment? I know a few people are toying with it with Diaries. That kind of started at the last tournament. I've played against Eyes and Nine. I've played against Stormsires a couple of times. I've played against Gits that have been doing it as well. So it's definitely something people are toying with. Let me know in the comments what you think. Are my suggestions to keep it at bay rhetoric? Should I shut up and just let people get on with it? Let us know. If you're enjoying the Godsworn Diaries, then do give us a sub. The next one will be about a tournament and possibly my week 4 game if I get it in before. I've also started downloading battle reps from Warhammer Underworlds Online, so if that's your jam, do give us a sub, because I don't share that on the Facebook page and things like that. But yeah, thanks for listening to my ramblings. I do all my videos in one cut, so apologies for all the hair touching. But thanks for watching, and hopefully see you again real soon. Cheers. Bye.